Hi everyone, how are you doing? Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today I just wanted to talk with you guys about mystery shopping, auditing, merchandising and things like that. And will it be sustainable from 2020 and beyond? Now, as you know, the economy is changing. Everything around us is changing. Some people are gaining jobs, some people are losing jobs. Mystery shopping and auditing has been around for quite some time. It's been around for many years. Now, you guys saw in my previous video about Observa. It's a great company to, do some work for when they have available assignments, and especially if you pick assignments that are worth it. But they are pretty decent, and all you do is just go to a company or a store or just wherever they send you, and you audit, and you just make sure that whatever it is that they want you to check to see what's in stock, what's not in stock, etc., and you just basically notate that down. That's, to me, that's more along the lines of auditing. It's not necessarily mystery shopping, but it's kind of like in the same bracket. You're just basically monitoring what the company's doing and making sure that they have things in order for, and just for the corporation itself. Because of the way that things are changing right now, it's not a bad thing to get into, because like I said, I've been doing it off and on for quite some time, for years, and it's not like 2 or 3 years, I mean like for many years, but just off and on. And so you just have to make sure that you pick the right companies to work for. But I did notice that when I did my last video about Observa, I had no idea that so many people were watching the video, but as soon as I posted that video, next thing you know, a lot of the Observa observations that were available just disappeared. And so that's not a bad thing at all. I'm just grateful that people were able to find something to do to make some extra cash. But observations aren't available all the time. But as far as the future goes, from 2020 and beyond, I think that things are going to shift and change now, especially when it comes to more of the digital age, because we've been in the digital age for the past 21, 22 years or so. There are lots of variables in that, but I think that things will be okay. But I have noticed that there are some companies that are no longer in business. Like one company, for instance, called WorkSmart. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them, but they were sending me jobs every now and then. I didn't really do them, but these were more so of, I would say, merchandising and doing displays. And I have done that before with different companies in the past. And basically what you would do is you would go to a store, maybe like a grocery store, like a Publix or a Winn-Dixie or Albertsons or whatever, maybe even a Walmart or something, and you would have to restock something or change the signage in something like that, or put up new advertisements for the company. So just for example, say like if Edie's Ice Cream wanted you to change the shelving or to change something new within the display area of the freezer case, and you have to go in with a group of people and just change things around. That's pretty much what it is. And so there are a lot of people that do it full time. Some people just do it part time, but it varies. And so I think that if you know what companies to work for, and if you know exactly how many hours you want to work per week, I think it's a good thing. But you have to make sure that you're going with the right companies and not just picking anything that's out there, because you definitely don't want to get with a company where they only pay you once a month. And then that's not bad, because some companies do pay once a month and the pay is great. But now a lot of merchandising and mystery shopping companies are paying bi-weekly, and some are paying weekly now, versus some of them who don't pay out until 45 days later or 2 months later. And so you want to make sure that you find somewhere or a company that pays you on time, and that they're paying you for what you're worth, and that it's worth it, especially with doing a lot of work. As an independent contractor, you're out there speaking with customers, and sometimes, or you're out there speaking with managers or dealing with employees, and you're on the road. So it's not too much different from what you're doing if you are maybe a gig worker, but at the same time, you're independent contractor. So maybe you've done this type of work, but you were a employee, whether it's salary or hourly, and you can still do pretty good. So I would say at this point, things can change. And at the way that the economy is changing, at the way things are kind of shifting, you want to make sure that once again, you're with the right company, and that you're just taking note of everything that you're doing and how much money you're making, how much you're taking in. And also look at the seasons, because you might have where shopping and the auditing might be busy for you for like maybe 6 or 7 months or 8 months at a time, and then in like maybe like the last couple months or so, it's dead. You don't really have much work to do. So but you have to do that over a period of time to see and know what's going to be available, what's not, and it can vary. So then I know people personally who've done this for so long where things are kind of consistent with them, but companies change and sometimes they go out of business. WorkSmart, like I said, they went out of business recently. They were wanting me to go to different stores like Publix, do some setups and to change some stocking of the shelves and things like that. I think the pay was I mean, the pay wasn't that bad. It was like between $13 and $15. Sometimes it goes up to $18 an hour, but and I think they paid weekly or bi-weekly. I can't really remember. But usually the jobs are only like maybe 3 or 4 days, maybe a week at a time, and you have to get to the store by 5 a.m. and you probably be done like around noon. It's not bad if you want it part-time, but the full-time will be a whole different video, and so I'll talk more about that later. But it's not a bad thing to get into if you're considering it. And I know some of you guys are asking, well, do you have any companies that you recommend? Yeah, there are some companies that I recommend, and I'll talk a little bit more about those later. I know a lot of stay-at-home moms do this type of work, and stay-at-home fathers do this type of work. And sometimes there are fathers and sometimes there are parents who are just, want some extra cash. And you don't necessarily have to be a parent to do this, of course, just to earn extra cash. You just, maybe a college student, or maybe just a person that wants to make some extra dough, and you want to just find something to do on the side that's not too strenuous, and you can just kind of work your own schedule. So I think the flexibility is there, but just looking at it from the future standpoint, things aren't that bad right now, but things are changing. And so kind of look at how the economy is at this point and how things are shifting and changing. As I said, we're in the digital age, and so everyone's shopping online, and some people aren't going to brick and mortar stores as much as they used to, but it's kind of like a mix. And so, with companies going out of business, if one company goes out of business, like a retailer, for instance, then of course, it's going to affect these types of companies, the merchandising and the mystery shopping companies that send people out to, to monitor and to also audit these companies. And so, it varies. So if you're interested in it, you can just always look into it, do your research. Research is very important to see, okay, what companies are good and what companies should I really work with. There are lots of Facebook groups out there. I mean, the possibilities are endless, guys. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I pray that you guys are having a great week, and I pray that you have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas. Okay, God bless you. Bye.